to another fast and fun video. We've got Aaron and myself, Rich, here today, and you'll probably notice by the vibrations, the noise, that we're not in a modern car, but we're in a mid-1980s heavily modified Volkswagen Golf, stripped out, and we're off to a modified car show today in glorious weather as well. And this car, well, Aaron, just tell us a bit about this car. What's the shell? It's a 1.3 CL?
1.3 GL, I think. Golf C, sorry. And it was,
What year?
1985. Started his life, 1.3. Engine swapped then to a more modern Mark III GTI. We're on throttle bodies, Genby throttle bodies, 52 mils, with Omex management. As you can hear, full straight through exhaust system.
And now, because we've actually, it feels like we're going about 100, we're just going up to 60-ish, 75, and it is definitely rising. Not because of the rear seats, but it's a bolting cage at the back as well. It's got a CAE open gated shifter, looks nice, but the dash itself is all pretty standard Mark II Golf, apart from the aftermarket stereo in there. What wheels is on this?
We've got work equipped wheels, 15 inch, 15 by 7.5 with spacers on.
And it's lowered on, is it coilovers?
Yeah, on coilovers, yeah. But yeah, it's just a raw build really.
And Nardi Torino steering wheel as well. And this, what's the colour of this? This bright, brilliant orange.
So I can't actually remember the colour. Yes, I can. It's Milky Way red, apparently. According to the original owner of the car, that's what it was painted.
It looks like a fiery orange to me. Amazing colour, and it's got a full carbon roof as well. For modified cars, and it's putting me into a unfamiliar territory, because if anyone that's been regular watching the Fast and Fun channel, I'm not one for doing many modifications to the car, whereas Aaron is absolutely into this. So I'm going to be out of my comfort zone looking at these and asking the question, why do people modify their cars? So we've arrived at this car show, and it is like, I'm like a fish out of water. Aaron's running around excited at all the slammed cars dominated by Volkswagens, the money that's been pumped into these cars to create these heavily modified show cars. And I'm just walking around here in complete amazement. There's a Mark V Golf GTI that we were looking at, heavily modified. Speaking to the owner, he's pumped in over £40,000 into modifying that Golf. Incredible value for something that's it's a standard. It's a £5,000 car. Incredible. Actually, the Mark II Golf just looks. The Mark II Golf here is just really, really understated for this show. Let me show you some of these cars here. And this is what they're nearly all like. They're all absolutely slammed down, huge camber. If you look at this Cooper in over here, just look at everything that has gone into this at the back. The subwoofers, there's 22, 23 layers of paint that's gone into this car. It is absolutely incredible. we'll have a look in this hall. There's loads of autos. It is an absolutely brilliant show. Every type of car you can think of. There is lots of Volkswagens, music's pumping, but just look at the alloys on this car here. Loads are on air suspension as well. Just come along. This car at the end is the one that's had all that money pumped into it. And I am probably the oldest guy here. There's hundreds and hundreds of people, and they're nearly all in the 20s. And I don't know even how they afford to do all these modifications. I mean, this is not just a few coilovers and a few... So this is serious money that's been pumped into these cars. And most of them, they're not driven on the road. They're just driven to car shows to come back. And I just don't get it. The air suspension, look at the pipe work that's been done. The material that's been used matches the front seats. The glass boot floor. It's just incredible detail. So, words almost escape me. What camber is on these tyres? You can see the outer portion of the tyre is not even in contact with the road. It's incredible, this. I mean, hats off to the people that are going to go to these lengths, but I don't know. It's just not me. It's all about art. It's not about the way they drive. It's about the way they look. I'm just not convinced. I'd just rather put my money into a standard car, do a few subtle modifications, but this is absolutely extreme. Say no more. Absolutely speechless. Oh my word. Incredible. But look at the artwork that's gone into the roof. It's unbelievable. The time, effort, money. I'm slowly getting to understand now. It is art. It's not about the car. It's about art. So the day progresses, the show progresses. We've looked all over the place, and Aaron, who is an advocate of modifying cars, wanted to speak to Aaron to say, "What, Aaron? Come on, give me the case for modifying cars, and certainly to the extreme that a lot of these owners go to."
So obviously I'm not as extreme as some of these guys out here. They got flipping slam rides on air ride, massive splitters, all this. I like to keep it quite tasty so I can drive it, B-roll, bash it, you know.
But most of these can't, can they?
No, a lot of these are just show queens. You know, they're sat up in the garage, flipping almost 90% of the year, I guess.
I know, so we've been speaking to loads and loads of owners, and they're all saying that that's it, they're show cars. They're driven in some cases to the show, and then they show the car, and then they come back.
Yeah, so, obviously we like to take our cars out. We B-roll bash them. And we've just been trying to find out, really, from some owners why they take it to certain lengths and stuff like that.
And it's all, a lot have said it's almost like an addiction, that it just grows on them through the months, turn into years, and the amount of money that they pump in. In fact, a lot of owners are not even sure how much they've spent, probably because they don't want to know, I suppose.
No, yeah, I guess so.
But even if you don't go as extreme as we've seen at this particular show, you've obviously got your modified Mark II, and it is a great car, but again, I'm still not bought into full modification. I get a remap here, I get maybe a different set of wheels, but to the extreme that people go to modify cars, because to me it's just a lost cost.
Yeah,
if you don't get that, I guess you potentially devalue the car.
Oh, you absolutely, yeah, but I think you answered it yourself. It must be the addiction, you know. The addiction, you start doing this and then you start looking down other areas and you find out, oh, no one's done that before. So you venture down that road and then you find yourself trying to fit in different places. There's so many different scenes to the show car scene. You know, you've got static, you've got air ride, you've got massive, like, wide body, you've got single.
And we've seen that, though, I think today, haven't we, with regard to most of the cars that we've seen today. It's all about the aesthetics, it's all about the way the car looks. Not so much about performance here, is it?
No. I mean, you get you get it, some cars, obviously, they've got to have the engine package to fit the model of the car. So like we see over there, you think, oh, that aesthetically looks amazing, but then you look under the hood and they've got the engine to suit it. You know, they got the big turbo, they got everything tucked away. It's
and they've
all
got
nice
carbon
still.
bits, and I mean, some of these engine bays are cleaner than the outside of my cars. I mean, hats off. It's just a different type of petrol lead, I suppose, that we've seen today.
Yeah, it is. And the money they put into these cars is just, it's crazy.
So the guy that we spoke to with the Mark 5 Golf, that was put £40,000 into modifying it, he said actually if he comes to sell it, which he will do, it's not a car that he'll keep forever, he said, but he'll probably strip it because he'll get more as modified parts than he would do selling it as a whole car.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. They put so much money into these cars that when it comes to selling them, they can't just sell it as it is because they lose so much money from what they've bought, like, because obviously they buy half of the stuff new. As soon as they fitted it, that's it, the value's gone really.
So I was coming today thinking, do you know what, I'm going to be born over here, I'm going to love these modified cars, I'm going to want to start slamming my cars, and do you know what, if it's done anything, it's done the opposite. I'm actually going more to keep everything OEM spec as it left the factory and don't touch a thing.
So it was an unsuccessful day to try and change Rich. We
will be including modified cars as always on the channel. We've got Archie in his VRS modifying that up through the different stages throughout this year. Obviously Aaron's got his Mark II Golf, and we've got some modified cars coming on the channel, including Alex's yellow Megane that I featured, or failed to feature just over a year ago in terrible conditions up in Wales. That's going to be on the channel as well in a few weeks' time, that heavily modified track Megane. So there is going to be modified content as well as the normal stuff. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed it, as always, thumbs up, subscribe below, and another video next week.